The janitor's hands were rough, worn from years of scrubbing floors and fixing leaky pipes. But every evening, after the office emptied and the fluorescent lights dimmed, those same hands found their way to the old piano in the corner of the lobby. That piano, dusty, half forgotten, was the only place he didn't feel invisible. That night, as the rain tapped softly against the glass doors, he noticed a small figure sitting nearby, a little girl, no older than 8, holding a white cane. She was blind. She tilted her head toward the music as if she could see the sound itself. "Do you like it?" he asked softly. "I can feel it," she whispered, smiling. "It's warm." He paused, unsure what to say. Most people ignored him. But she didn't see the uniform or the mop bucket. She only heard the kindness in his voice and the melody in his hands. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she replied. "Mom says she works too much. She brings me here after school sometimes. I wait for her in the lobby." From that night on, every time her mother worked late, the janitor played. He taught her how to place her fingers on the keys, how to find C by touch, how to let the notes tell a story. Sometimes she laughed when he played something cheerful. Sometimes she just sat quietly, swaying gently to the rhythm. One night, Lily asked, "Why do you work here if you can play so beautifully?" He smiled sadly. "Because music doesn't pay the bills. But it feeds the soul." She nodded, as if she understood far more than her years allowed. That evening, while they played a duet, her tiny fingers pressing uncertainly beside his, the sound drifted beyond the lobby. Neither of them noticed the shadow standing behind the glass door. A woman in her late 30s, elegant and composed, stood silently watching. Her expression softened with every note. She recognized the janitor, of course. He was the quiet man who never spoke unless spoken to, who always worked overtime without complaint. But she had never seen him like this, so alive, so patient, so kind. Her eyes glistened when Lily laughed. A sound she hadn't heard from her daughter in weeks. The janitor didn't know she was there when he told Lily, "Close your eyes, and listen to what happiness sounds like." Lily giggled. "They're already closed." He chuckled, playing a soft tune, one filled with warmth and hope. By the time they finished, the lobby was quiet again. Lily leaned against him, sleepy, her hand resting on the piano. "Your mom's probably waiting," he said gently. "She always says she's too busy," Lily murmured. "But maybe if she hears you play, she'll stop working for a minute." He smiled, wiping the piano keys with his sleeve. "Maybe." As he turned off the light and guided her toward the elevator, the woman behind the door wiped a tear from her cheek. She wasn't just Lily's mother. She was the CEO of the company. And for the first time in years, she didn't see a janitor at all. She saw a man teaching her daughter how to find beauty in a world she couldn't see. She saw kindness in its purest form, quiet, humble, and without expectation. The elevator doors closed softly, leaving the mother alone in the empty lobby, the echo of the piano still floating in the air. The next morning, the janitor arrived early, as he always did. He didn't expect anyone to notice him. No one ever did. But this time, something was different. The lobby lights were already on, and standing beside the piano was the CEO herself. She wasn't dressed in her usual sharp suit. Instead, she wore a simple blouse and jeans. The expression on her face wasn't cold or distant. It was soft, almost uncertain. "Good morning," she said quietly. He hesitated, unsure whether to respond. "Good morning, ma'am. I was just about to." She interrupted gently. "You don't have to clean today. I wanted to talk to you." He looked puzzled, his hands gripping the handle of the mop bucket. "Is there a problem?" Her lips curved into a faint smile. "No. Actually, there's something beautiful I witnessed last night." He froze. He hadn't realized she'd seen them. "You played for my daughter," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "You didn't know I was there. You didn't do it for recognition or praise. You just gave her something priceless. You gave her joy. He didn't know what to say. She's a special kid, he murmured. I just wanted her to feel happy. Music helps. The CEO took a deep breath. You taught her more than music, you reminded her. And me. That kindness doesn't depend on titles or wealth. She paused, looking at the piano. That old thing hasn't been tuned in years, but last night, it sounded alive again. Maybe because you played it with your heart. He lowered his gaze, humbled. I'm just a janitor. Numb. She shook her head firmly. No, you're a teacher, an artist, and a good man. Then she turned toward him with an unexpected glimmer in her eyes. I'd like to start a small music program here in our company. For employees' children. To give them a space to dream, to create. And I'd like you to lead it. He blinked in disbelief. Yes, she said. You already proved what real leadership looks like. Quiet kindness that touches lives. For a long moment, he couldn't speak. His throat tightened, his vision blurred slightly. I don't know what to say. Just say yes, she replied warmly. He nodded slowly, a tear slipping down his cheek. Then yes, I'd be honored. Behind them, little Lily appeared from the hallway, her cane tapping softly against the floor. I heard the piano, she said with a grin. Can we play again? The janitor smiled, sitting beside her. Of course. As the first gentle notes filled the lobby, employees began gathering quietly, drawn by the sound. The CEO stood among them. Not as their boss, but as a mother, a listener, and a human being who had been changed by something simple yet profound. The music echoed through the building, carrying a message that no words could express. That sometimes, the most extraordinary hearts beat in the humblest of people. That kindness doesn't need applause, it just needs to be heard. And in that moment, with a blind girl smiling beside him and a CEO silently weeping by the door, the janitor's music became something far greater than sound. It became hope.